What's up, guys? Bobgar here, and today on $10 Deck, we're taking a look at one of the spicier decks we've looked at on $10 Deck, $10 Land Destruction Reanimator. I think this deck is super cool. I don't know if I've been excited about a deck on $10 Deck as I am about this one since maybe See the Unwritten. That's probably the only other one that I've done that I've been this excited about. I'm not convinced the deck is super good, but it is really cool and has really neat interactions. So let's jump in and take a look at the creatures in the deck. First up, we have Terastodon. Terastodon is good as a mass land destruction. You can destroy up to 3 of your opponent's lands or other non-creature permanents. You usually don't want to, though, because it does give them 3/3s, so a lot of times you'll want to hit at least 1 or 2 of yours to get yourself bodies on the board as well. We only run 2 of it because it's not as good as some of these other targets we're going to talk about in a second. Next up is Ashen Rider. Ashen Rider is a flying 5/5. When it comes into play, you get to exile a target permanent your opponent controls, and when it dies, you also get to exile a target permanent your opponent controls. And then the next one is probably the best, Woodfall Primus. He's a 6/6 trample. When he enters the battlefield, you get to destroy a target non-creature permanent, and he has persist. So when he dies, he comes back to the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter, so he becomes a 5/5 trample instead of a 6/6 trample. And then finally, we're running 2 of Sheoldred, Whispering One. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get to return a target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. And at the beginning of your opponent's upkeep, he has to sacrifice a creature. This is basically just a creature reanimation on a stick for you. And then there's the Reanimators. The most exciting one is the one in the middle here. It's kind of the most interesting. It's our 3-mana Reanimator, Footsteps of the Goryo. So what this does is, as a sorcery, it returns the creature to the battlefield, and they have to sacrifice it at the end of turn. So normally you would think this isn't very useful. They come into play only on your turn, they don't have haste, and then they just die at the end of turn. But with Woodfall Primus, you return him on turn 3, you get to destroy a land, then you have to sacrifice him at the end of the turn. But because he has persist, he doesn't really go away. He just leaves, comes immediately back. You get to keep him around as a 5/5 trample, and you get to destroy a second land. So this destroys 2 lands and puts a 5/5 on the battlefield on turn 3, potentially, which is a super broken card. You would run this in basically every deck ever if you could reliably if you just had a spell that said, pay 3 mana, destroy 2 lands, put in a 5/5 trample. That would be just broken. So it has a lot of upside, but it's a combo, so it takes a little bit to assemble, and you're not always going to have it on turn 3, and you're not always going to have the mana to cast it on turn 3 in a budget deck. Obviously, it's also really good on Ashen Rider. You don't get to keep the Ashen Rider around, but again, it's 3 mana to destroy 2 permanents. Any permanents you want to destroy. It can be creatures, it can be lands, it can be artifacts, or planeswalkers, just anything. So basically, 3 mana double Vindicate, which again is super powerful. After that, we're looking at Unburial Rites. Unburial Rites is a classic. The deck can pretty easily play it from its hand for 5, or dump it in its graveyard and pay it for 4 for its flashback to get it out a turn early. A lot of these creatures, they're great come into play effects, and they're big bodies, so just doing normal reanimation on them is great. And then 2 Makeshift Mannequin. I just wanted a few more reanimate spells in the deck. It's the least powerful of them, but it's instant speed, which is really nice. And it actually has one other thing which is additionally kind of nice. If the creature you reanimate gets targeted with a spell or ability, you sacrifice it. So that's nice because one of the problems the deck has is sometimes your opponent will run a lot of Path to Exiles. And when your opponent Path to Exiles your Woodfall Primus, it really sucks. But if you have reanimated your Woodfall Primus with a Makeshift Mannequin, when they try to path it, you have to sacrifice it in response, so it'll just die and then persist, and you'll get the persist trigger, and it won't get exiled. So those are our Reanimators. Next up, we should talk about how we get things in the graveyard. So we're going to need to get things in the graveyard, and I decided, I thought about running a dredge package, but I decided to just go with kind of Faithless Looting style cards, kind of looting cards. So we're running 4 Faithless Looting, draw 2, discard 2 with flashback of 3. It's probably our most powerful. Up in contention with that is Cathartic Reunion. You get to draw 3 by discarding 2. And Tormenting Voice is the weakest. It's just 1 additional card that does the same kind of thing. You get to discard 1 and draw 2. And these are mostly ways to get our creatures in our graveyard. But it also helps us fix our mana if we have mana of the inappropriate colors. It helps us dig to find our reanimate spells, and in general it just makes our deck play a lot smoother while also dumping the things we want to get into the graveyard. And in addition to the search and discard, we have 2 more cards in the deck, running 2 Duresses in the main board just to pick apart our opponent's hand, try to make sure they don't have removal or their own hand disruption or things like that. Cloudshift is super nice. You can use it in combination with Footsteps of the Goryo to keep a creature around, so 3 mana reanimate and then blink it, like do that to Ashen Rider. You still get the 2 triggers, and then Ashen Rider doesn't die. So That's pretty nice. Or use it on Woodfall Primus, Footsteps of the Goryo to get into play. End of turn, you sacrifice it, you destroy another permanent, then you flicker it, reset its persist, and destroy a third permanent. So very cool. And then the land base. The land base is a little bit of a mess because we're on such a budget. We really just don't have money for good lands. Nomad Outpost is not good. It's just a tri-land, and we need mana fixing for all 3 colors, and so it's what we have to run. If we had a bigger budget, we would definitely run more dual lands. We were also running 4 Scrylands, which come into play tapped. These at least help us search to the pieces we need, but it does kind of suck to be slowed down that much. You really want to hit Footsteps of the Goryo on turn 3, because up until turn 3 the deck basically does nothing. And then we managed to slide in 4 Battlefield Forge. I mean, you don't like to take damage, but if it gets you the color fixing you need, it's worth it. So again, a nice dual land to slide in there, very cheap on Magic Online. And then we have the basic lands. 2 plains, 4 mountains, 4 swamps. Pretty standard. We need all of the mana colors about equally. We probably need a little bit less white just because the only real Reanimator that's in white is the flashback Unburial Rites. And then finally the sideboard. 2 Bojuka Bogs. Bojuka Bogs exile target graveyard, so it's a way to fight against other graveyard decks we might run into. 2 Duress to pick apart our opponent's hand. 3 Fragmentize and 2 Disenchant. Those are artifact and enchantment destruction. We run a total of 5, which is a lot, but this deck just folds pretty hard to rest in peace. There are a few cards we can play for fair, but we really, if we're not reanimating, we're not going to win a game probably. So we need to have the sideboard plan to kind of combat that, and artifacts and enchantments are the most common way for opponents to try to counter our graveyard strategy. 2 Lightning Axe. Lightning Axe is a nice removal spell. It's only 1 mana. It's instant speed. It does 5 damage, which kills almost everything in the format, and it lets us discard a card. So it makes it a little less painful to replace one of our discard outlets, just because sometimes we'll really want to discard a creature and not have a discard outlet if we go too low on them. 2 Doomblade, just another creature kill, similar to Lightning Axe, but it hits anything as long as it's not black. And then 2 Pyroclasm as a sweeper against decks that run a lot of things like Birds of Paradise or Arbor Elves, or a lot of goblins kind of style swarm decks, tokens, things like that. And that's the deck. I'm going to go jump into some games. I hope you enjoy watching it. This is a deck that I think is super, super cool. I don't know how it will match up against other decks. I think it'll do pretty good against big mana decks like Tron, but other than that, I don't know if it's actually viable. But it's super sweet. I should give credit where credit's due. Player named Platinum Angel played it against me on Magic Online. Not exactly the same build, I'm sure, because I only noticed the Goryo's Footsteps interaction. I was already kind of building a Reanimator deck for $10 deck, and I was like, oh, that's exactly the card I've been looking for. I was looking for a 3-mana Reanimator, and he played that, and he did it on Woodfall Primus, and I was like, yep, that's exactly the interaction I was looking for, and that's exactly the card I was looking for to do it with. So big credit to him for at least planting the seed for how this deck was built. And yeah, I'm gonna go play some games. I hope you enjoy. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. What's up, guys? Bobgar here. I am playing some Land Destruction Reanimator in Modern. This deck is super spicy. I love it. I love it. I can't keep the 1-lander with only white, so I'll mulligan. This one's a little awkward. I think I'll try it, but I'm a little skeptical. Bottom that land. I get to go first. Get an extra scry. I really need one of my search cards. That goes on the top. Perfect. Well, we got a turn 4 reanimate. Not ideal, but we could draw into something else too. Obviously, turn 2 we play that, dumping these 2. I'll play down Swamp just so I have it on the battlefield. What are we up against? Oh, we're up against State. That's actually not a terrible matchup, assuming they're just straight Valakut combo thing. I forget what the name of the deck is. But if they're just the normal Valakut combo deck, that's actually not bad because we're going to be destroying lands, and that will help a lot against them. Okay, I got more targets, but not more, and another search spell, but not Footsteps, which is what I really wanted there. Footsteps would have been very good, but that's okay. Can't get Footsteps every game. Explore to play an extra land. Sure. Cat decided to join me today. My girlfriend's gone, so he's extra boogie. My cat and my girlfriend's cat, but you know, kind of both of our cats. Oh, I'll play that. let's Faithless Looting to start things off. The Cloudshift is going to be very good. I think I dump this, and I think I dump Woodfall Primus and Sheoldred just so I have an options in my graveyard and keep that one in hand. This is also probably one of the more playable ones. I guess Sheoldred is actually the most playable because it's only 7. Yeah, I think that's right. And unfortunately, I can't do anything else here. I don't have the 3 mana to flashback Faithless Looting. Okay, he gets a land. He's going to be at 4. What does he have? He has another Explorer. He plays another land, presumably. He has Sakura-Tribe Elder, so he will be at 6 next turn. If he has Titan, that's a little scary. Let's see what I draw. Tormenting Voice is actually pretty good, although right now, obviously, I'm just going to reanimate myself. I think Sheoldred is too slow, so I think I just gotta go with either Ashen Rider or Woodfall Primus, and Woodfall Primus is usually just better. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to just kill it, but I can kill your land. I can blink it next turn with Cloudshift. So he still could have Primeval Titan here, which would be a little scary. This was definitely a slower hand than this deck often has. If I had Footsteps, obviously I would have gotten 2 triggers last turn and really mowed down his lands, but this is fine. Double Lightning Bolt? That's actually not that good against him. Anger. Oh, I don't have my Flicker effect up, so that is pretty effective against it. That is a little too bad. Now I really need to draw a second Reanimate spell. That's not it. I might actually Terastodon against him, though, if I get that far. Actually, I don't think I want to tap the black there, just because I don't have an option right now. What do I discard? I think, again, I discarded Terastodon because it's the most unique. Draw 2. Maybe I should have Faithless Looting instead, although if I get an untapped land, I can do both. If I get Footsteps and an untapped land, which would be a really unlikely draw, but if I happen to get it, I could just also play it. I got Footsteps with no untapped land, so I can Footsteps next turn. Put that in. I guess I just pass here. Yes. Primeval Titan, sure. That's alright. That's good. I mean, that'll put me under some serious pressure, but doesn't just win. I'm gonna have a 9/9. And a whole lot of 3/3s. Fortunately, I don't have a way to. Actually, no. This kills permanent, right? Sure. Well, that might actually be the right play, just because I don't know what else he has. Draw. Temple. Well, I'll play Temple first just to see what's coming up. It's another Cloudshift. Actually, I think I probably want that. I guess it depends what he plays. I don't get it here, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I have to Footsteps. I'd really like to do Terastodon and just mow down all his lands, but I think I have to do Ashen Rider. I mean, if he has Escape Ship or a second Titan, I could be in a little trouble. Okay. While you're tapped out, let me just blink this. Okay. He has a lot of mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can almost just cast these for fair. Alright. Well, I got a little unfortunate. That was a little unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Okay, that's pretty powerful. I mean, if he has the combo, then he wins, obviously. I was too slow to stop that, but he only has 2 cards in hand, so it's quite possible he just has more land fetching stuff. I don't know. Farseek, that's just a land fetch. Oh, can he fetch out? No, he can't. He still can't fetch out Valakutes, I guess. Oh, because he doesn't control them when they're in his deck, probably? I don't know. I get another Cloudshift. I knew I was getting that. I don't know if I want to use it yet. I think I do want to right away flashback Faithless Looting, maybe dump the 2 Ashen Riders. Yeah. I can Faithless Looting again right now, or I could Cathartic Reunion ditching those both. The Cathartic Reunion ditching both seems bad. I guess I can do Cloudshift with either of those 2 mana, so I guess I'll just Faithless Looting with this. Gives me stuff to do next turn. More creatures to dump. Well, I'm getting all my creatures, but not a lot of my Reanimate, unfortunately. Okay. Get in for 5, then I just pass the turn and sit on Cloudshift here, basically. The Summoner's Pacts, sure. So he's gonna get another Prime Time. That's annoying. I probably have to kill Prime Time here and not lands, unfortunately. Sure. I mean, I can kill him end of turn, which is probably what I'll do, but it's still pretty scary. 2 Valakuts. Oh, and they count as triggers. Sure. Turn off auto yields. Are they all going face here? Face, 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 face. Okay, well, I can't stop them. So that takes me to 8. Sure. Well, I should have done this earlier, I guess. Oh, he can just break it in response at this point and then get 2 more triggers. I don't think there's a good way to do this. Oh no, I have to do it in response to him breaking it. Oh, why did I do that? I didn't mean to. Whatever. Okay. Response. Cloudshift this. Doesn't actually matter. I lose anyway. I don't know why I thought that would matter. If I did it before it would have mattered. I didn't realize he didn't do land per turn. Well, he drew literally the perfect card at the end. I mean, lands wouldn't have done it. He needed the Summoner's Pact. Doomblade's not terrible, just to get rid of Prime Times. I can see that. These are bad. Duress could be okay. Those are the only ones I'm really considering. I'm actually really surprised I lost that game. I thought I had it in the bag. I was a turn slow, so that was probably part of it. What would I go down if I put these in? I can go down to Makeshift, although I don't want to go down too much because I had trouble hitting those that game. Go down to Makeshift, go down to Terastodon, I think. Up for the 2 Doomblades. 2 Duresses is probably enough. Duress does hit a lot, but it doesn't... In a lot of cases, the stuff it hits doesn't actually matter. But we got to do some cool things. It wasn't ideal, but it was fine. I think this is a keep. This hand is very slow, but I have so much dig. I have 2 lands with perfect fixing. I'm a little worried that that'll be too slow for him. But, I mean, given that we're a budget deck, I don't think you can pass hands like this. I just don't think that makes sense. Boop, pass, and then turn 2, unless... Oh, he F6 to his turn. Well, that seems like a mistake. He gives up. Alright, well, that was a quick game, too. Maybe he just really didn't want to be on the draw. Submit deck. I think more likely he F6 through his turn and then tilted off the face of the earth. I've done that once or twice. I don't know if I've ever done that on a video I was recording, but I've definitely done that, and it's definitely tilted the hell out of me. This definitely seems like a keep. I need black mana, but I have 2 draw steps to find it, and if I can get untapped black mana, I have turn 3 Reanimate Woodfall Primus, which is exactly where this deck wants to be. Okay, he passes. Man, I could also play that turn 2 if this doesn't find anything, which I think is what I'm going to do. I think I discarded Tormenting Voice, Faithless Looting. Next turn, no, I need to discard Woodfall Primus. Let's do Tormenting. Woodfall Primus, Tormenting Voice, I think is right, because I like Cathartic Reunion better. Next turn, I just Nomad's Outpost and Faithless Looting. And then the turn after that, I can. Turn 3, I got a Footsteps of the Goryo on him. Destroy 2 lands. Pretty good. Okay, he just passes. I get an extra land. I'll start with this. I mean, I can't imagine much. Well, that's a good one to ditch. Makeshift Mannequin is good too. I guess I ditch just white, because I feel like Cathartic Reunion is still pretty useful. Pass. He played nothing so far. One would assume that he was going to play something soon. I don't think he has counter spells in those colors. Unless he has instant speedway to get rid of my graveyard, that would be pretty annoying. Well, we'll find out in a second. I got black. Nice. I guess I'll play the black. Footsteps of the Goryo, Woodfall Primus. You got a counter for that? Get some way to stop me? Nope. Alright, well, take out the Cinderglade. That's the dual land. Maybe I even take out the green here. It feels weird, but the green is what lets him cast most of his ramp spells. And let's take out, yeah, let's take out your green. Seems fine. Fortunately, I don't have any other creatures to reanimate yet. Just this guy. Right, passes. Don't think there's anything too scary he can do for 3. I think this turn I might as well just... Oh, I have to discard 2 with Cathartic Reunion. I would have to discard Makeshift Mannequin. That still might be worth it because I have an Unburial Rites in the graveyard, so that probably is still worth it. Okay, let's go to attacks and attack in. Yeah, doesn't feel good, but I think it's still fine. I still want to get this off. Oh, I guess I probably should have just flashback Faithless Looting. That probably would have been better now that I think about it. I already played land for turn, so those can't come down, but that's fine. Okay. Relic, sure. End of turn. Let's just Cloudshift this guy. Let's just I don't know, go into these lanes here. Why not? Okay. You do have a relic out. I see it. You're doing it. Alright. Faithless Looting, Faithless Looting. Let's go to combat. Swinging for 6. Okay. I could Unburial Rites on my creature there, but I think it's better to just Faithless Looting here. Probably dump a land, maybe one of my creatures. Oh, I get an Unburial Rites in hand, see that's pretty good. Not exactly what I wanted, but that's fine. Am I doing anything else this turn? No, I could leave up Doomblade if I play Forge. Actually might be better than holding out a Nomad's Outpost, although I can't imagine him having a creature. I don't know. Nomad's Outpost is so much better though. Let's discard these 2. Play down this. And pass the turn. Breaks it, it goes to 8. Tapped, sure. He can't really even tap out here because then I have Reanimate up. So I don't know what he's going to do. I feel like he just loses the game. I got there. Sweet. So that's the power of that deck. When that deck's good, it's kind of oppressive. It sucks that he accidentally passed game 2, turn 1, and it doesn't feel like the best win ever, but I'll still take it. We still beat, that's a real deck, so we still beat Titan Shift type deck. I don't know if it had Escape Shift in it or not, or if it was just Prime Times, and I forget what else the just Prime Time version runs, but obviously Summoner's Pact. Maybe it was just a Prime Time Summoner's Pact version. Whatever it was a very strong deck, and we somehow managed to beat it even with our pile of jank. I love it. I love it so much. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Hey guys, Bobgar here. I just really wanted to quickly say, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you enjoy my content in general and would like to see more of it, subscribe. I'll be coming out with more content in the future. And please leave me comments and let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, both in terms of production and in terms of my play and my deck building and all that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.